Blog Talk Radio.
The party.
All right, and welcome to the Balance, my minions. My name is Tom Marquis, El Presidente. We're getting a little bit of a late of a start today. Unfortunately, the internet here at the Balance Studio needed to be rebooted. Sometimes we all need to get rebooted every now and then. We got our NFL preview on tap today. Give you a little bit of a roadmap. My name's Tom Marquis, El Presidente. You're going to be paying homage to me for the next 2 hours as I guide you through this crazy world of sports. And NFL has broken camp. That's right. And breaking news, that's right. Andrew Luck throwing. So we're going to be breaking that down as well. NASCAR split states. They're in Pennsylvania and they're in Iowa. Standing by in the Balance Green Room is Steve Willson of Speedway Digest. Going to help us break that down. And then in the second hour, we're going to get into our NFL preview with Rick Riggin, ed-kracz, and Mo from the BS Sports Show. My name is Tom Marquis, El Presidente. Stick around. It's about to get good right here on the Balance Radio Network.
The Air National Guard is a reserve component of the United States Air Force and serves alongside active-duty Air Force members in times of a national crisis. In addition, the Air Guard serves the state and local community in a wide range of capacities. The reason people join the Air Guard is as diverse as our members and includes such reasons as a deep desire to serve their country, money for college, travel, new job skills, and the pride that goes along with belonging to the greatest military organization in the world. I joined because I felt a calling to serve my country, but I didn't want to be far away from my family, so the Indiana Air National Guard was a perfect fit for me. With over 95 different career opportunities to choose from and 100% paid college tuition to any state-funded college, why not give us a call? Call 1-800-841-3103 or visit online at goang.com to find out more. Again, that's 1-800-841-3103. The Air National Guard, guarding America, defending freedom.
When you don't go to geico.com, car insurance can be confusing. Like Swedish techno confusing.
Bark, bark, meow, meow. Dance with me, purple cow. Bark, bark, meow, meow. Ooh, you lovely cow.
Geico makes it easy. With 24/7 access, all you have to do is go to geico.com and you can save money on car insurance. It just makes sense. Unlike, you know.
Dance with me, purple cow. I like your moves.
When you don't go to geico.com, car insurance can be hard. Like early 90s heavy metal hard.
I'm yelling and screaming and I'm loud. Roar.
Geico makes it easy. You can review and update your policy or report a claim on geico.com or the Geico mobile app. Because shouldn't we all have a little less stress in our lives?
I'm not even upset about anything.
It's double trouble, double the fun at African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio. See the largest antelope on Earth, the giant eland, and the ugliest creature on Earth, the African warthog. There's so much to see and do, including the Midwest's only drive-through safari. Feed the animals, see live educational shows, feel the excitement, have your picture taken with a python or cockatoo, feel the adventure. Shop the Symbol Lodge gift shop with items available from around the globe. Visit the snack bar or picnic facilities. Enjoy a pony or camel ride. Or cheer your favorite porker on to victory in the famous Pork Chop Down. Bring your family to see the rare and exotic animals at African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio. Just take Route 2 to the Route 53 North exit and follow the sign. Only 17 miles west of Cedar Point via Route 6. Open every day, rain or shine.
All right, welcome back to The Balance. My name is Tom Marquis, Presidente. We had Steve Willson in the Balance Green Room, and we lost him. So hopefully we could catch him back. We'll effort to get him back here. Oh, we got him back now. Steve Willson of Speedway Digest joins us, our official NASCAR contributor. How are you, sir?
All right, if I can figure out how to use a phone this morning. I hear you. Disconnecting everybody.
No problem. I totally understand completely. Well, NASCAR split in time between two states, Iowa and Pennsylvania. The Pocono Mountains have a different setup, if you will. The Truck Series and Monster Energy Series are at Pocono, while the Xfinity Series out at Iowa, they're in Newton, Iowa. Certainly we know them well from Indy Car as well. A very short track up there. So talk with us a little bit about that game plan and why they decided to split it up like that. And we'll start with the Truck Series, and then we can bounce over to the Xfinity Series before we get into the Monster Energy Series. So talk with us a little bit about Pocono. Certainly it's got a rich heritage with NASCAR, and talk with us a little bit about the tracks being there in Pocono today, the trucks.
Well, the Truck Series, they only got a very short race today. Not going to be very long for them, about 60 laps or so. So you don't have a whole lot of time to make too many adjustments or go out there and mess around too much. They're going to be a lot up on the wheel really quickly. Some of the stages are really, really short, just only, 10, 15 laps apiece. So you're not going to get a whole lot of, unfortunately, you're not going to get a whole lot of green flag racing for the first two stages just because of, well, at least in the second stage. You should get a fair amount in the first stage and the last stage, but just the way that they've compressed them down in this very short, just 150 miler or so that, it's not going to take long to get this race in. The only downfall with Pocono that we've seen in the past is that no matter whether it's trucks today or the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series tomorrow, you've got a few good laps of very wide open racing going down into turn 1, 2, and 3 wide sometimes that people try and try and crush it down there. But unfortunately, after a few laps or so, the field seems to get really strung out around Pocono. 2, 3, 4, 5, sometimes up to 6 seconds or more between the leader and the rest of the field. There's a lot of this is just going to come down to pit road, what your team is going to do on pit road, the changes that you're going to make on pit road, and your crew. I wish that we could. Unfortunately, I wish that there was something they can do to push these cars back up and trucks back up around Pocono, but we just haven't seen it in the last couple of years, and it just gets very, very strung out around that 2+ mile triangle up there in Pocono, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I enjoy watching the Pocono race. The scenery is great, and it's just a great track to watch some good racing on. So we'll see what happens both today and tomorrow. Let's travel up to Newton, Iowa, in Cornland there in Iowa. Certainly a short track, and I would imagine we would see mostly what I call true Xfinity drivers, as opposed to, I don't think we're going to see any Cup drivers in the Iowa race. I could be wrong about that. But Casey Roderick, Justin Allgaier, Elliott Sadler, Shane Lee, Kyle Benjamin, the rookie Christopher Bell, Jeremy Clements, and Daniel Hemrick round out the top 8 in practice there at Iowa for tonight's race at 5 o'clock. What are your thoughts there, sir?
Yeah, so you're right. There's only one driver that's going to make the trip back and forth, and that's Ross Chastain. He's going to run the Xfinity Series race tonight. He's practicing today, or he's going to qualify in Pocono today, and then hand the car over to another driver while he flies out there to Iowa, and then we'll be back in Pocono tomorrow. So, we're not going to see the Kyle Bushes, the Ryan Blaney's, Brad Keselowski's and of the world that are going to come down to the series, and they're going to run in Newton, Iowa. It's good to see these drivers be able to go out there. They're going to be able to, separate themselves to some degree, and the distance is allowing that to occur. But I think in the last few weeks we've seen Christopher Bell. He's won 2 races in the last couple of weeks, and he's on the up-and-comer list right now for not only Joe Gibbs Racing, but the Xfinity Series as a whole. So he's going to start putting together some numbers that are going to challenge those that are up at the top, like Daniel Hemrick that's sitting at the top, or Hugh Tyler. So for them, they're going to have to be very watchful and very mindful over, we've got about six weeks or so, including this week before we get to the playoffs. So everybody needs as many points that they can get, not only just playoff points, but points in general. And Christopher Bell seems to be the one right now on the upswing for that. So for everybody out there, they get to ride around this 7/8 mile track in Newton, Iowa tonight, and that should make for a fun race because we see a lot of fun racing out there side by side. Very close quarters, races like a Richmond, but also races like a Martinsville at the same time. So you got a lot of short track beating and banging that can go on out there. We've seen a lot of first-time winners in the past come out of Iowa, going all the way back to years ago when Ricky Stenhouse, Trevor Bayne, for Roush Racing. We've seen them go to victory lane there for their first wins in the Xfinity Series. So this place has a tendency to produce some first-time winners.
Well, absolutely, and one of the things that we know about Iowa is that it takes no prisoners, if you will, and certainly Reddick took a spin up there in Iowa because it is such close quarters. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when they get all mingled up. Are you still with us there?
Yep. You still there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I got you.
Okay. And we must have cut out on my end. I apologize for that. I was just talking along. The way I said there in Iowa, because it is such close quarters, it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when they get all mangled up.
Yeah, the track is a little bit wider than some of like a Richmond, but you've got the different banking and the variable banking that occurs out there in Iowa. So it gives that very close quarters, and you don't have really, even though that the track is wider, you don't get a whole lot of room to move around there. You see the tendency of a lot of drivers trying to lean on one another around there because they're trying to get into those preferred lines, about a groove and a half off the yellow line at the bottom. So this is where you see the contact come in. This is where you see spins come in. Tyler Reddick yesterday, he spun all by himself. So that's just one of those single car spins. But as close as they run out there, sometimes those single car spins can wad up a couple other cars and damage a lot of other people's day at the same time. For them, it's just being mindful out there and just trying to, run the race the best they can, to be honest.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk a little bit about the Monster Energy back at Pocono. Let's talk a little bit about the track of Pocono, and we'll get into some of these power drivers, if you will, that were coming off of New Hampshire, what we saw there, and reflect off of what we saw in New Hampshire. So we'll start there. New Hampshire, just a recap of the race up there in the Northeast last week.